Alright, so today I want to discuss in a little more detail why I don't think the majority of our conventional household names in BreadTube are really capable of initiating any democratization on BreadTube. The exceptions being, as far as I'm aware, Vosh. Well, it's pretty obvious that his modus operandi is a lot more democratic than with a lot of other breadtubers. And also American Johnson, I guess because, as far as I'm aware, he's basically the one who's most enthusiastic about bringing people up and, discussing, like, ideas with them. He's like right now in touch with me about it, and I'm really grateful for that. I've basically been corresponding with him on ways of advertising solutions-based approaches to the problems that BreadTube is dealing with. So those are the two exceptions that I know of, like, to my statement that BreadTube isn't really capable of initiating democratization throughout itself. I mean, it's going to come from its audiences, pretty much, is what I think. So, what are the other reasons why, like, breadtubers like Peter Coffin and Natalie Wynn aren't really capable of initiating any democratization? Well, it's not just that their livelihood is directly linked to this undemocratic process. Like, and I'm really trying, like, not to make them come off as bougie. Or I'm trying not to paint them as bougie. Like, it's also in that, like, I'm willing to suspect that they're sort of specialists. Like, this undemocratic process is not just their lifeline, it's also, as far as I'm concerned, like, the only way they know. And yeah, a material reconception of BreadTube is not going to come from people knowing only one way of doing things. It's going to come from people knowing a variety of ways to do things. And, like, the second reason, or rather the third reason, why I don't think, like, our more famous breadtubers are capable of initiating any democratization on BreadTube, or, like, really setting up deeper and more human connections with online leftists, is because that necessarily means that they're going to have to attempt to do that with people who personally have an axe to grind with them, including myself where Peter Coffin is concerned. Now, the reason why I personally have an axe to grind with Peter Coffin is because I confronted him on Twitter about the way he treated one of my mutuals. This mutual of mine, Anarcho-Witch, tried to, like, have a private correspondence with Peter Coffin, like, to figure out the truth of the matter, like, with these allegations of rape against one of his associates. And he told her to fuck off, which was really unacceptable in my view, and I stood up for this mutual of mine, and then he blocked me. I told Peter Coffin, like, my mutuals deserve a greater amount of respect than what he showed. And I was blocked for it. Like, I felt at the time like I was personally being punished for showing the amount of solidarity for my mutuals that he now advocates for himself. Like, so I'm sort of scoffing at him, saying that we need to have more human connections. Like, I don't think it's gonna come from him. And I don't think I can be blamed for saying that. So, yeah, it's not just that BreadTube's livelihood is directly linked with being undemocratic. It's also that it's the only way that BreadTube knows. And furthermore, it's also this deep emotional quagmire, like this deep emotional conflict that the online left is stuck in, like really locked in. And it's depressing. So I think now would be a good time to really expand on the technological measures that I offered in my previous video. Like, I realize that a lot of people are going to be reticent to showing their faces on, like, online videos and on BreadTube and on YouTube or just on the internet in general. So I'm hoping that these people have access to, say, bandanas or masks. And I would also recommend, for like online security reasons, like looking into resources like VPNs and Tor. One particular VPN that I really like is Rise Up VPN. So please look into using Rise Up and really supporting them. Now, I realize that VPN and Tor aren't perfect. Like, they do have security limitations. Yeah, I'm afraid that we're never going to be as secure online as we wish to be. And that's also depressing, and it really underscores, like, our crying need for people to be able to set up and join media collectives. So I'm going to start looking into ideas on that as well. Anyway, I think that's all I have for now. Thank you.